All right. Good morning, Danielle. My name is Ernie Sevilla. You can call me Ernie or Mr. Sevilla, whatever feels comfortable for you. Do you have a preferred name you wish for me to address you as?
Most people call me Danny. I guess you call me that.
All right, perfect. Going forward, I will address you as Danny. Now, Danny, before we get started, would you like a bottle of water? Are you comfortable? Is there anything I can do for you right now that would make you feel more comfortable?
I'm fine right
All right, very well. Well, Danny, what brings you into the office today?
now. My husband asked me to come talk to somebody.
Okay, I can respect that. Is your husband someone who brings value to your life?
Sometimes, I guess.
Okay. And why do you think your husband would want you to come speak to a professional?
Because when I get really sad, I just kind of run and hide and isolate myself and don't do anything.
All right, Danny. Well, first off, I want to thank you for sharing that information with me. I know that was hard, but now that we have that information, we can move forward on ways to help you accept those emotions instead of running from them.
Okay.
Okay, so when you say you hide, what does that mean?
I don't know. I just go to my bed and crawl away. I don't do anything. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want anybody to see me like this.
All right. Do you get these emotions while you're at work?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you said you crawl into your bed. I'm assuming that's at home. What do you do when you're at work?
Just kind of wander around, try to avoid people. Don't really do much work either. Um,
Okay, Danny. I hear you, and I want to help you find a way to combat these emotions when you start to feel them. Now, in order to move forward, I need you in a calm state of mind, and I can see that just by talking about depression, it's kind of made you a little anxious. So I want to take this time, and maybe if you want to take a break, would you like a bottle of water? Um, how are you feeling?
I guess I'll take some water, please.
All right, Danny. So for now, I want you to focus on the here and now. Any thoughts you might have about work or other responsibilities, I just want you to kind of push that out of your mind before we get started. All right, now could you take one good deep breath for me? All right, are you in a relaxed state?
No.
Okay, well, let's try to help you get there. All right, let's start with the here and now. So can you look around this room and notice 5 things with your eyes? See 5 things and go ahead and just say them out loud as you see them.
TV, curtains, a rug, couch, picture.
Okay, now I want you to focus on 4 things you can touch. Can you touch 4 things and just say them out loud?
Pillow, couch, rug, a water,
All right, and what about the 3 things you can hear?
there's something banging in the background. And your voice.
Okay, and lastly, something you can taste. Maybe something you ate earlier or just.
Kind of weird, but coffee.
Coffee? Okay.
Still taste my coffee.
All right, and then we're going to do one last breath in and out. All right, how do you feel?
A little better.
All right. Well, now that we are here present, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. Can you share with me what you value in life? It could be people, activities, anything that brings value to your life.
My husband, my kids, working.
Okay, how does working bring value to your life?
Makes me feel like I'm doing something with my life. It gives me purpose.
Okay, what goals do you have in life? What goals have you set for yourself?
Well, I want to raise good kids. Raise jerks. I'd like to go back to school, but it all really depends on this promotion at work.
A promotion that could be big and very exciting.
Yeah, I've been passed over twice now. I really deserve it, but probably because of my how I get.
All right, I'm sorry that has happened to you, Danny. Being looked over can make us feel unseen, and it can lead to feelings of anxiousness or depression. However, we need to understand that these emotions are normal and in some cases necessary. These feelings are what are called involuntary, unwanted experiences. Now understand that although they are involuntary, what we do after we feel these emotions are voluntary. And that's up to us on how we handle that. So oftentimes when we feel these emotions, we want to find a way to fix it or get rid of it, which you explained you do by wandering around work or by hiding in your room. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, sounds right.
All right. Well, when we run away from these problems, we create kind of a metaphorical quicksand. And what that means is when you're stuck in that emotion and you're just focusing on that emotion, you're fighting, that emotion just constantly brings you down, kind of like quicksand. Do you know how to combat quicksand?
You're supposed to stay still or something, I think.
Yeah. So quicksand. When you find yourself in quicksand, what they say to do is to relax and fall back. And what you do by doing that is you're creating a bigger space that doesn't allow the sand just to focus on one spot and pull you down. Mm-hmm. And when you're spread out, it'll actually lift you back up. And that's the feeling we want to have when you're having these emotions. It is normal to have the emotion as long as we don't focus on it. Recognize you're feeling that emotion and spread out. Like think of something else. So what I want you to do is identify when you're feeling depressed. Say it out loud. Let's practice. Could you say it out loud for me?
What?
I am depressed.
I am depressed.
Okay. Now I want you to say, I feel depressed.
I feel depressed.
Okay. I am depressed and I feel depressed. Which one has more power to you?
I think if I say I feel depressed, I feel like it has more power. I have more power. Whereas if I say I am depressed, it has more power. Because it's saying that it's me and not just something I'm feeling.
You are exactly right. So by saying I am depressed, you're not allowing yourself to feel any other emotions. You're just saying what your state of being is, and that's what you become. When you say I feel depressed, it validates your emotions, and it leaves you open to feel something else. Remember, the goal is not to change our emotion. Like I said before, often we cannot control those emotions, but what we can do is alter the emotion. All right, hang on. So when you're feeling depressed, I want you to recognize the emotion and say, I am feeling depressed. And then try to think of things you value. So if you're at work and you're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxious or depressed, try to think of how your values align with your job. So you mentioned you value family. So making that connection that can help you. Accept that feeling and make a commitment to not let that emotion control your whole body. So by working, you're able to provide for your family and enjoy those moments that you value. And it's important to enjoy the path to your goals. So going forward, can you verbally tell me some techniques we discussed today to help you when you are feeling overwhelmed or depressed?
I don't understand how to connect my values at work when I'm feeling that way.
Okay. So some of the techniques we kind of talked about is just being in the present. When you're feeling overwhelmed, do that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. Take some breaths and come back to this present moment.
Well, I get that, but I don't get what. I guess the values at work.
Well, you said when you talked about values, you mentioned your family, and being at work allows you to provide for your family.
Oh, well, I get it.
So when you're feeling overwhelmed at work, just know you're there for a reason, and those emotions are normal. And try to remember what values you have in that moment to get to that goal.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in, Danny. I look forward to hearing how these techniques are going to help you in the future. And I'll see you next week.